More Sports Talk with Kevin, Zach, Tom, and Terry. I gotta say, it was rather hot this coming week. So, Tom, why don't you tell people how we cool down nowadays?
Well, we cool down Shelby Heating and Air. Give them a call, 704-487-7877 for your heating and air needs. Check out their website, shelbyheating.com. They have specials advertised if you need service, a new system. Just need to get your system clean before you turn it on this year. Call Shelby Heating and Air. Once again, it's 704-487-7877 or shelbyheating.com.
Tom, you could have used some Shelby Heating and Air at your ball game last night.
Yeah. Probably could have. Got a little warm in the afternoon, a little cool in the evening. I think I got a little bit too much sun there. Like it was overcast, Terry, then the sun came out. You know how it is. You don't think you can get burned at 5 o'clock. You can.
You can. Blood pressure goes up and down while you.
Yeah. I want to say that Will Blackwell, I believe his name, threw a no-hitter last night for the Lincoln Wolves. Can't remember the last time I saw a no-hitter, Terry, but 2-0 Lincoln over West Lincoln. Good ball game. Both teams played, good old rivalry game. Lots of people up on the. They bring their lawn chairs to Lincoln, don't they? They bring their lawn chairs and they sit on the banks, and then Tony Dellinger's there cooking bologna sandwiches, and you got the smell of hot dogs and bologna in the air. It's a really great atmosphere for baseball, so that was fun last night.
Well, good, Tom. I'm glad you're the only person I know that enjoys people yelling at you every other night.
Actually, I would say they were very, very well behaved. Yeah. I don't know what I guess because it was a good ball game. Mm. You know what I mean? It was a good ball game, and both teams are playing pretty well, and it was only an hour and 35 minutes. See, but when somebody throws a no-hitter, the game doesn't last that long. So, I mean, it was...
Well, that's the second and third place teams in the conference that you had last night, so...
Yeah, they said Bandy's is leading that conference.
And then Lincoln in second and West Lincoln third.
With the gas prices, I don't get sent that far, so I haven't seen them. But usually I'll see Bandy somewhere. Bandy's had a game with Burns. Burns beat Bandy's on, I want to say, Thursday. And congratulations to Alex Lenhart and the Burns Bulldogs for conference champions. They won the conference championship last night. They defeated Shelby. They swept Shelby this week. So Alex Lenhart and his guys, congratulations, Burns. I guess we'll await our seed, see what that seed's going to be. Some teams are finishing up this week, Terry, and then some teams finish up next week.
So a lot of them have their little tournaments that they'll play in.
Yes, some
next
conference
week
tournament. So congratulations to them for winning conference. Only one conference loss to East Gaston. So East Gaston, they're going to have a pretty good little playoff run, too. And Shelby's going to be back in the playoffs. Cherryville did pretty well in that conference as well. So our local team's moving on to the playoffs pretty soon. We'll see how that shakes out next Saturday.
Well, good morning, everybody. JP, what'd you get for breakfast this morning from Mitchum's Kitchen up in Vail? I actually had lunch from there, Terry, Tuesday. Me and actually the office did.
There you go.
Had to take a lawnmower up to West End Sales, one of our our sports sponsors here on KTC Broadcasting, and have them do a little work. And we swung around and picked up some Mitchum's Kitchen and come on back. Andre got fish. I had a burger. Mason had the chicken. Kids had hot dogs. So we got a little bit of every meat you about that they had.
Well, me and Tom are not too far away from her. You could have did a little drive-by.
Tom is way far away from there.
And Zach could easily met you somewhere.
That's right. Well, Zach was working too on Tuesday. He was. I'm sure he was well fed.
Yeah.
Working for the Lord this week.
I felt what I did.
I do not blame you. We all need more of that. Yeah.
I think I went home and had grits.
That's right. Yeah.
For lunch.
There you
go.
Grits. You remind me of a guy that I was doing ball with the other night, and he was out there. Matter of fact, Travis Farmer, good friend of mine, but he was doing first base, and he says, we got to get this game over, Terry. I have not ate today. And I said, well, what you going to have? And he looks over, and don't mean this in a bad way, he looks over at his wife, and he said, I guess I'll have grits and an egg or something.
Grits for lunch, though. I don't do grits for lunch. I do grits for breakfast.
I
Zach.
do grits, period.
Nobody does grits for lunch.
I had before, actually.
People in Charleston, don't they do the shrimp and grits in Charleston?
Yeah.
Isn't that a Charleston special?
Yeah.
I
My
guess you
wife
could eat
loves
it.
I've never had that before.
She loves
I've
it.
heard people rave about
Well,
it.
you're not an aristocrat, Zach. You're a Western North Carolina person. That means you're just you're a
she's more high
bumpkin.
up than you are. She loves the shrimp and grits. Loves them if we go somewhere and they have them. That'd be one of the options for her. Zach, what'd you have this morning?
I had
Terry and everybody.
bologna,
Yep.
egg and cheese.
I had a good thing today.
Mm-hmm.
When I called it in, I had Tom. He wants a bologna
and
cheese on a bun.
Mustard mayonnaise.
Yeah. And then Zach, he wants to add an egg to his.
Mm-hmm.
Same stuff. But then I wanted to add liver mush to mine. So they had 3 types of different bologna
Holy
with
heart
different
attack,
things.
man! What just happened?
Hey, at least he didn't eat the whole time.
It must
He
be-
didn't have the whole plate.
It must be a Lincoln thing too, because at the ball game last night, you could buy a hot dog, a bologna sandwich, or liver mush.
See?
They sold liver mush at the ball game.
That might be a little tempered down from the Northbrook tornado that they do up there.
I'm just trying to picture Terry sitting there thinking about, ooh, that sounds good. Ooh, that sounds good. I bet even better about this.
Let's combine them.
Throw a piece of liver mush on there.
Well, I'm going to get mine here in a few minutes. I run a little behind this morning. I have children's baseball all this week. I am coaching my sons, and then helping my daughter as well. They're doing well. Both had games last night, so good job.
They're on
to them.
different teams now.
Yeah, she's in coach pitch. He's in kid pitch right now. So they're a little bit different teams and atmospheres right now, although they're both. We won one game this week. We're 1-2. The girl.
You had 3 games this week
boys,
between the two of them.
No, the boys were 1-2. The girls were 0-3.
3 games, 6 games.
The
That's a lot of games.
coach. I'm going to say this: we only have 2 teams in the kid pitch, and we tried them out and split them up pretty evenly. The coach pitches were not split up evenly, so we basically played an all-star team last night, and we have mostly kids that haven't played, and the little girls. Our infield's 3 little girls. The shortstop Terry has a cannon, and she is good. My daughter plays second, and so we've talked about this in the past and throughout our league as well. And one thing about this age group and the parents complain about, and that I do as a coach and as well as the kid pitch. We wish we could do something to get less strikeouts, more hitting involved. And if every kid strikes out and then no kid catches the ball in the infield during the game, then when they get to 9 and 10-year-olds where I'm coaching, when half my team hasn't played before, and then the other half's never actually thrown a ball or actually hit the ball, because it's hard to hit coach pitching from 40 feet away from a 6-foot person with a rainbow, and you're this tall. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of that going on. Is like, how do we get the kids to hit? They're not having fun. They're striking out. They come up here and I watch my kid for an hour and a half. He comes out here, strikes out, kicks the dirt.
Well, let me throw something at you. I've had people, and this has been in the last 2 weeks, and they've questioned the same scenario, and they've even thrown stuff out there. And I find it hard that we would have to do this. But even when you're in coach pitch, and I'm throwing, if you strike out, then I bring a tee out there for you to hit
I've
off
seen
of.
that. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That way they do hit it. But how often do you do? What if your elite, your oldest kids strike out? I mean, is that benefiting them?
Honestly,
for them to hit off a tee?
I've been doing coach pitch for how many years? I've never seen a single person or team do that.
But
I've never seen a single person or team. I've never seen anyone other than strike out and go back. Honestly, Terry, I didn't know that you
I've seen
could.
it.
No, you can't.
And-
You
and-
can't. That's
Okay.
what they're wanting to
no.
apply.
in Charlotte, I've seen.
This is
Yeah.
my solution. And Zach played in the same league when I played growing up. We did coach pitch, but a couple of things. The coach was allowed to stand wherever he wanted to. That's the number one thing that I would want, because the reason for them playing coach pitch is to learn how to hit, right? I don't care where he's throwing from. And then the reason for the defenders are out there to learn how to catch the ball. the last thing that I want in coach pitch is the kid striking out. And I'm sure everyone else does too, right? We don't, none of us wants to be there, hey, you're out. I'm sure the umpires don't want to. The umpires usually be like, hey, you're out, that's 3, go sit down. Not like, you're out of here.
Right.
You know, it ain't silly or anything. But again, when me and Zach played, and I don't know, Zach, who was your coach when in coaches? Mine was Glenn Burgess. I don't remember if you remember.
I played for the Dodgers, and I had a guy that was a professional baseball player. That was my coach. But I can't remember what his name was.
Okay.
He was a really nice guy.
Well, Glenn coached up here forever, and Terry, it's not like he stood as close as he could on everybody. Like when I batted, and Justin McLemore batted, and Chase Burgess batted, and Patrick Kaiser batted, he stood back because we would knock his teeth
Hit it
out.
back, hit back at him.
He would throw strikes. Our team at that age, Terry, could, honest to goodness, if you hit a ground ball to our shortstop, second baseman, or third baseman, we were turning a double play in coach pitch. Yeah. How many? When's the last time you saw a shortstop or third? Just if they hit it to anybody and we stopped it, we were rolling it.
Could I tell you something?
What?
I've seen 3 triple plays this year already.
Golly,
I have in games that I've been doing 3 triple plays.
We had we talked about this before. We were outside playing
real quick,
together.
The point what I was saying about Glenn is that so if we had 11 batters, there might have been 2 or 3 that he moved up real close on. We still struck out back then. We never went to a tee, but I remember striking out. I used to get mad. You used to get mad if you struck. I struck out a couple of times, and you get mad at yourself and go sit down. Especially the good hitters would. But I just remember we had 4 or 5, and most teams do. They could crush the ball. We had the infield. But all of our outfielders at least hit the ball somewhere and then got thrown out by the pitcher or someone else because the pitcher was allowed to be able to throw a strike. And it's hard. I don't know when's the last time you've actually thrown from there, Terry. It is just extreme. And people, so our team begged me to go out there and pitch. I'm like, okay, let me explain something to you guys. When I pitched, I threw 3/4 sidearm over. I threw 3 different angles, and it was all moving. And I have to throw at full speed and snapping. I can't throw a straight baseball for a strike to anybody. It might be Zach's in there. I don't know if I can throw it.
It's not easy.
I don't know if I can throw it straight like that. Honestly, I'm used to in shortstop 3/4 snapping it across the infield. At no point have I been like, darting it over there. So that's kind of hard. The arm angle thing is weird to me as well. Even if you can. Because in no other age, 9-year-olds, my son can go out there and throw sidearm, but the coach can't in the 8-year-olds. So again, there's a few things that I think could adjust because I believe the number one priority should be the kids hitting the baseball and the kids catching the baseball. I don't care who wins. I don't care who loses. I don't care where the coach throws it from. I don't care about any of that in the coach pitch arena because. And then that you don't have to worry about somebody coming out hitting. They've already hit off tees. I don't like the tees, period. Did you ever hit off tee?
Never.
I never hit off tee. Honest to goodness, Terry, I don't think I hit off a tee for any type of practice in my life until 14, 15. Never. I coach pitch from 5 years old to 8 years old. And then it was, in 9 years old, you play with 12-year-olds. Now, and when 9-year-olds played with 12-year-olds, you struck out every time because Ralph Roberts throwing smoke back then. Yeah. But the 10-year-olds, the good 10-year-olds could hit the 12-year-olds. 11 and 12s could play, and that's where we went. So just in my experience alone, and playing, coaching, and all of it, I think the coaches pretty much should be able to stand where they want as far as pitching wise, and I would have no problem anybody doing that. So I don't know.
Well, I have a lot of things because I have people question that, and then I have other people who say, okay, you got 2 years of wee ball, 2 years of t-ball or sweeties, and then you go to coach pitch. So they kind of look at me and going, what was the parent doing? How come they wasn't teaching their kid if this is the first year they've ever played coach pitch, which I know some kids start later. I mean, I'm just throwing the other side of it. Then people go, that's not our fault. Our kids have been swinging off a coach pitch, and all of a sudden this kid decides to play.
Awful nice to be jerks.
Also,
I mean, that's how other people look at it.
Awful nice to be jerks about that.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm just telling you because I hear both sides,
But okay, again, Terry, here's my example real quick. I have worked with my kid at every chance I can, and kids, both of them. All right, he has played every age of baseball. He's played t-ball. He's played coach pitch. This is his second year of coach pitch. No, 2 years of coach pitch. He's did all that, right? he gets on the mound, and none of my kids, well, this is a little bit slightly different conversation, but him as well as none of the other ones can get it to the plate from that far. He's struggling to hit the ball a little bit. So whoever just said that, come tell my face that I have not been working, that I've not volunteered for all these kids to throw to them as well. So those people are just jerks, and and if they don't, and if they think their kid is so good, put them on a travel team and get them out of the local rec leagues. Because I know our teams where we play are way more instructional than some of these other teams, which is fine. I don't care. Again, I don't care about the winning and losing, but it's what you're talking about as far as the coaching is coming out here and striking out. And it's not every out, I would say, in coach pitch is almost a strikeout, is it not?
Yeah, and here's your
and
deal.
Almost every 9 and 10
when you're doing coach pitch and you play the whole game and the final score's 4-3, either you've got great defense or nobody could hit.
Right,
It's
I'd
one
rather
or
be
the other.
23-20 in 2 minutes. And everybody comes to that age to do two things. The parents, to watch your kid hit the ball and run. In T-ball, that's all they want to do is hit the ball and run. They want to run. And then you get to coach pitch and you come out there and you stand out there and you strike out twice and go home and kick some dirt. Now, some of the good ones hit the ball. We had a couple, the other team, like I said, we played a good team last night, Terry. You're right. We had 2 or 3 hit it way in the outfield. Fine. I don't care. I'm not saying kick them out of the league at all, but if your parents are going to be like that, whatever. I've got one parent. We've got one little girl that's good. I got one parent. And we only have 8 people in coach pitch on our team. So right now we're going without a catcher, and we got 3 in the outfield. Why ain't we got a catcher? Well, if you start counting, sir, and he's just constantly, why ain't we doing this? Why ain't we doing that? And I'm like, why ain't our team as good as that team?
See, we require a catcher up at ours.
Well, we're just,
you got to have 6 infielders.
We've got all that. Terry, we're gonna do all that.
Yeah.
We've got enough for the All-Stars and all that. But right now, our team, we had 14 sign up, Terry. 6 didn't come. So we're down to 8 people.
Never showed up at all?
No.
Wow.
My baseball team had 15 show up. I'm down to 10 that signed up. One just showed up the other day. They just showed up to the city. So he just signed up. I've never seen this kid before. Never seen him play, never seen him throw. He shows up, I have to give him a jersey. He walks up to the plate. He stands on the plate.
Yeah, that's
10
It's already,
10 years old.
Yeah.
He's wearing an adult medium. So he's a big kid. Never played baseball. He goes and stands on the plate. And then Terry's got parents like,
well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Tell their
That's
parents
what I hear.
Go to hell or whatever, I
Well,
guess.
where they been? I mean, they've been playing for 4 years.
Maybe doing something else. Not everybody is dedicated to, like, baseball, right? Some are dedicated to soccer. I tell you what, those same parents, Terry, would they walk into the basketball gym and say that to my shortstop? Because my shortstop would drop 25 points on him in a heartbeat in whatever basketball league they're in. Mm-hmm. He is nasty. He did it to us. That's why I drafted him, because our pitcher last night, he's never played baseball in his life. This tall. Remember I had Muggsy on our basketball team? He was the Muggsy on the other team, but just this much taller. Maybe because his hair was, maybe I didn't even know. But he had a step back jumper. I can show you the highlights. Remember Iverson? He's my shortstop. Zach's seen the highlights. Was he good? Mm-hmm. So those same coach, but what have you been doing? Maybe he's been working on his crossover.
Yeah.
Maybe he's been kicking the soccer ball, right, Tom? There's a lot of kids that do that. Maybe he's working on throwing the football. So those parents, come on, man, grow up. I've got one on the coach pitch like that. But the rest of my parents are awesome. I'll have to say that about my parents.
Play basketball by yourself a lot. It's kind of hard to practice baseball if you ain't got a couple people with you.
Yeah, you got to have some people.
You got. That's what I was saying. And we've talked about this before. The development of the kids is astronomically different than when we came up and you guys came up, because that's what we did. We went outside and we played baseball.
I'm gonna tell you. Here's the deal, and I guess this has come as I'm umpiring. But I tried to do this when I was coach. Don't get me wrong. I like to win. It's a great thing. You teach, but you also have to teach kids how to lose also. And my deal is I wanted kids who I could see at the start of the season, and I want to see where you at by the end of the season. Do you enjoy? Do you want to come back? Mm-hmm. Did you develop? Did you all of a sudden, hey, man, you know what? I like this game. And did you progress to get better? And that's what it's about. But we are so into I'm going to win because I'm going to be the all-star coach.
Is
You
that
know-
what it's about?
Well, it is. I mean, they some
Holy,
of them
who
like
cares,
that.
Batman? Golly. Anyway, they're not going to get any of that from my end on that. I don't even know if I've talked to an umpire other than tell him, hey, if he stands on the plate, please tell him to back up.
Yeah, no
Well,
kidding.
that's what I'm saying.
Don't tell my kids not to beat the dirt in the outfield or infield.
Right. No, so Terry, as far as the working with my daughter, I pitch to her. If I get closer or underhanded, either one, I can throw. If I get closer and throw overhanded, she crushes it. If I throw it underhanded, she crushes it. From 35 feet, she strikes out every time. We've got another kid who's never played, never done anything. He has almost no coordination. He's got 3 hits this year. And that's how random it is on it. So the coach is like, where you been? Why ain't you working? So if you've come to our games, you think my daughter has never played before compared to this kid, who I can't get him to throw it to me from you right now. But she can catch the ball, throw it short, throw it third, throw it wherever, hit the ball. But that far back, she's having trouble hitting.
Yeah.
So, and I don't necessarily if she's having trouble hitting, is that she's this tall. And for her to hit the ball, Terry, the pitcher's got to throw it in that spot.
Yep.
And if it's at a rainbow, so he's got to hit the box like this while they're swinging like this. So
And a lot of people think that doing coach pitch, I'm going to tell you, if you got 2 coaches over there and one guy's out there throwing all the time, and all of a sudden he cannot make it, and you have to put your other coach in, them kids strike out left and right because they're not used to this guy's pitch.
Why don't y'all just use a machine?
Well, there's a machine, but the deal with the
I've
machine.
never dealt with that. I don't know if Terry
Yeah,
has or not.
I have. I
I've
think
never.
Cheryl's good with that machine sometimes, but it's consistent. It comes in
That's
at the
what I'm
right
saying.
level. But here's the problem with it: is in a ball game, that's not what you're going to see. I mean, I can get used to machine pitching.
It's just 7 and 8 year olds.
I'm with you, Tom. I'm with you 100%.
I went and did a game.
That's what I'm saying. I just want them to hit the ball.
When
I
I
don't
did-
care how they hit it. I just want them to hit the ball.
When I did the Charlotte League, that's what they did. They did machine pitch. If you struck out, then you got to hit the ball off the tee. And everybody got the hit. Everybody had a good time. Game took an hour and 15 minutes. Everybody had a ball. Everybody's patting me on the back telling me what a great guy I am. I had a great time. I mean, it's fun to watch the little kids play, but when you talk about bringing in one coach, one coach, I guess, trying to be Nolan Ryan there, a 7-year-old game. Just don't. Kind of reminds me of Stuart Scott. Remember that commercial where he's playing like Little League basketball and blocking shots and things like that? What do you want to do? Go in there and strike out a 7-year-old? But I think Kevin is right because you want to see the kids hit. I mean, that's what you want to see the kids hit. I mean,
Tisha, I already
do whatever you can to get more offense.
Should I already put in my resignation for All-Star coach.
Well,
Tell I don't care. No, for the boys, I'm gonna have to. For the girls, that we've got like 5 or 6 teams, and they've got plenty over there that can.
here's another
they
thing
can
I'll
have
throw
at
at
that.
you. I don't know
think
how
she'll be in
everybody
there or
does
not.
it, but when you're in a league, let's say I've got 10 teams. So I'm going to take the top player off of each team. Is that correct?
No,
Maybe not.
no.
There might be some good kids on this other team. Or if I've got 5,
Zach,
I'm going to take the
Hold
top
on,
2
watch
off
this.
every
Zach,
team.
which Johnson twin are you only taking?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, but I've heard people at different leagues saying, well, we got 5 teams and we're going to take the top 2 off of each team. And I'm like, is that fair?
No. Well, I thought we might have 3 chances on ours until I saw the other team, and we might have 1.
Yeah. I understand.
Maybe 2. Just depends on who's coaching.
Take
and
your
all that goes.
best 10 and then let
Right.
the coach pick 2 more that he wants and go from there.
Whatever it is. Right,
Yes.
right. Well, they've actually, I've heard that discussion to make sure that they do that. And I think
Because when you go to these All-Stars, if you don't think they're not there to win, question they are.
I'll tell you what my biggest thing is, Terry. My only complaint about, I say as far as the gameplay in general, I think they need to stop the stupid running stuff. We talk about, we'll have an argument about what's best, Tom, for the pitchers and we'll have all this and what's best for the game, and we'll get all serious about it. But as soon as I say, hey, let's stop the runners from running around like jokers ever pitch, that's basically the game for some of these coaches.
Exactly.
If they send their runner from third to second before my pitcher even gets back to the mound, that's how you get an argument with me. That's how you're going to make me mad. I'm going to call the first baseman a D-head right there and let the first base umpire hear it, and then we're going to go from there. That's the way I get. That's the way I get heated.
It is a kid's game.
It is.
It's a kid's game.
Like,
And,
come on now. And then you see my picture up there right after he throws 4 balls, Terry, 4 straight balls that barely come to the dirt. You're gonna run to second base. Go ahead, try it.
I agree.
I'll take your picture. I'm gonna put it on the radio show on Saturday. We're gonna talk about it. That's what it's gonna go.
I'll just say this.
I'm sure Terry's seen some awful stuff.
I have.
It's not necessary in a kid's game. I mean, it's a kid's game. You always know that somebody's trying to be Tommy Lasorda out there. Somebody's trying to be Bobby Cox.
You
out
take
there.
one base. If I throw it away, try to throw you out at third, and I throw it away again. Go home. But again, when you walk and run to second, and then still third on the next pitch,
that age is about.
9 and 10.
I'm telling you, that age is about teaching the game.
It is.
And
It is.
1 minute after that game's over, those kids don't know if they won or lost. They don't know if they won or lost.
They do not.
Don't care. So just teach them the game, and I think that's just.
Where's my hot dog and Coke?
And there's a lot of dads out there that need to take a serious chill pill, man. I mean, it's about teaching kids the game.
Well, sorry about getting our high horse sworn on that, guys.
Yeah.
It's just some fun comments. Not just some things to maybe adjust. Hopefully, you got in some ears, some coaches, or maybe some umpires in some areas. I just remember what's best for it. And some of these people take some of this stuff really serious.
Yeah, some of these little league umpires will come to a game and then want to tell you they're an umpire.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
they say something. You know what you never tell somebody calling a game? Don't ever say, I'm an umpire. Just don't do that. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you. It's not going to go well from you from there. But it's just kind of funny how people involve and they make it about them. It's about kids.
Yeah.
I'd have loved to have a couple more kids and take them to a little league and just play. I'm not saying a word to an umpire or a coach or anything.
I have told every one of my guys,
It's
when
crazy.
you're doing a district or a state or something like that, after your game and you've got a little bit of weight before your next one, go change. Don't leave your stuff on. Well, they'll go, why? Because nobody needs to walk up to you and say, did you see this play? This is what happened. Because you was not there. You did not see it unless you were.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't get involved on another play of another umpire.
It's people are just dumb.
All right, guys. JP, let's take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll get into our NASCAR. Terry, one guess before we go. What state is Dover in?
What?
Dover is in Delaware,
Yeah.
Terry.
I
Gosh
know
almighty.
that.
I was going to
mean,
ask
why-
JP next.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. I know that.
But I'm just saying some people have to think about it for a sec, see what happened. JP, what state's Dover in?
Colorado.
I was not paying attention.
Hey, JP, why don't you come to my first period class on Monday? You fit right in.
No, I'm good.
You fit right in with the rest of them.
Right in.
Pick up that reading, Johnny. Where are we? Let me show you where we're at.
Lawndale. We'll be back in a minute, ktcbroadcasting.com.
Family.